Okay, so we just talked about like writing the equation when you don't know the y-intercept, but we know that sometimes we get a special slope, so either 0 or undefined. It's not just a regular number. So we know that when the slope is 0 or undefined, that means it's one of our special equations. It's not just like a y equals mx plus b equation. So when I get one of these, that means we're using either y equals some number or x equals some number. That's our equation. Okay, so instead of trying to do point slope, I have to pick which of these equations I'm going to do when I get 0 or undefined. So if I get the slope is 0, then I'm supposed to use the equation y equals some number. Okay, so like in example 3, it says, what is the equation of the line with a slope of 0 and goes through the point 5, negative 10. Now, when I see that the slope is 0, that should be alerting me, oh, I'm not going to do point slope. I'm going to pick, does that mean I'm going to pick y or x? Well, when it's 0, that tells me I'm supposed to pick y equals some number. Well, how do I know what number it equals? Well, that's where this point over here comes in. I know that this point, one of these numbers is x and one of these numbers is y. And I know when you write coordinates, you're supposed to write it x comma y. So since I am picking y equals, then that means I'm going to use the number that the point says that y equals. So I'm going to pick negative 10. So my equation is going to be y equals negative 10. And I'm done with this question. Slope 0 tells me y. What was the y number in the point? Negative 10. Well, okay, so that's if the slope is 0 up there. Well, what if the slope was undefined? Well, undefined tells me, should I pick y equals or x equals? That tells me x equals some number. Okay, so let's read this question. That's not helping. Here we go. Reading the question, what is the equation of the line that goes to the points 9, 3 and 9, negative 4? Well, first I have to find the slope. Okay, and we know that I'm supposed to be using y2 minus y1 because I don't have a graph, so I have to use the formula. So out of my points, I'm going to say this is xy, xy. This is the first point over here, second point's over here, so I'm plugging these in. So that's negative 4 minus 3 over 9 minus 9. When I type that into Desmos, it's going to tell me undefined. Okay, that's a special slope. I can't, that's not a number. I can't plug that into point slope form. So when it tells me undefined, then that means my equation is going to be x equals some number. Well, in this question, like in the last one, I only had 1 point to pick, but this one I have 2 points. But if I look at both of these points, both of their x numbers are the same number. It's 9. Oh, so my equation is going to be x equals 9. I found the slope, it was undefined. That tells me I pick x. What is the x number in my point? 9. Okay? So depending on what the slope is, that tells you what letter to pick, and then you look at your point to figure out which number is that letter. So you guys are good to start the practice.